InvestView. Invest in you.
Hey, welcome back. It's a Freaky Friday. That usually means it's fun, little freaky things are happening here in the studio. Yesterday, hopefully you were watching, and hopefully you'll be watching tomorrow, the best shots of Liquid Lunch, Saturday, 5 p.m., repeats again Sunday.
Eastern,
at
5 p.m.
1 Eastern. But yesterday, I freaked out at the NFL. I lost it. I said I wasn't going to drink, and then I had to start drinking to cool myself down, calm myself down a little bit. And why? Why, you asked? Did he ask that? Why did you freak out, JT? Because a league that has bowed down to people like Colin Kaepernick and allowed them to kneel before the games and not respect our flag has now decided that one of the legends of the league, NFL legend, who's going to walk out as the captain for the Pro Bowl and have kids look up to him, is none other than Michael Vick. Not a legend in football by any measure, and not a legend as a man, because to me his biggest claim to fame is he tortured, mutilated, electrocuted, and killed dogs and financed an operation for dog fighting. And I don't know why the NFL would want this guy out there as one of their icons. And to break it all down, a dear friend of mine, entrepreneur, businesswoman, supermom, and now these days mega philanthropist, Carla Murino joins us, and she's one of the directors of the New York Bully Crew, which does all kinds of things to save dogs, to rescue dogs, and try to pay their medical bills when they're found and they're sick. I mean, your organization must be livid right now.
That is a complete understatement. In the animal community, in the pit bull community, in our community, as humans, this is an outrage. I'm saddened, but I'm happy to hear that you're so outraged, because I know what a football fan you are. And to allow this person that has
What are some of the, I just say the macros, but what are some of the things we know he participated in with relation to mutilating and killing animals?
Well, exactly that. The torture that is put into dog fighting to get these dogs prepared is unimaginable. You wouldn't want to do it to a pet rock, let alone a dog. They're supposed to be our companion dogs, and this is strictly for greed. Maybe I could educate a little bit more on it, that drug cartels have now taken over dog fighting. Why? Because the money is so great and the penalty is so small. Greed fuels this. The level of violence is unsurpassed, and to see as rescuers the damage that it's done. Oh, here I go again. It's unbelievable. He is not a legend. He might be a good athlete. He is not a legend.
Decent.
Well, his record just got broken, right, by Lamar Jackson. Thank you, Nico. See, he doesn't know the answers to the questions that we ask him on air,
right.
But the questions when he's not on, he's a whiz. But now I think dogfighting is horrific. I can't believe that anyone would do this for fun. And by the way, I want to point out for viewers in New York, 3 people busted in a horrible dogfighting ring a week ago. And, well, 3 people who were busted are now out on the street. No bail because of bail reform.
Correct.
Not even an ankle bracelet. On these
New
people.
York, the Big Apple, baby.
Yeah,
it's getting
so
rotten
nice
about
job.
a minute.
Nice job. Everybody that voted for the people that implemented bail reform, these violent dog fighters are out on the street. We don't know if they're going to come back to court.
Probably mutilating and torturing dogs again.
One even has a history of missing court dates. He's on the street. So keep an eye on your dog. That's my advice. But let me ask you about Michael Vick. So over 500,000 people have now signed a petition to Commissioner Goodell at change.org asking him to not let him be in this position to mentor young players from the sidelines. But Roger Goodell says, I know there are people out there who'll never forgive him. He knows that, but I think this is a young man who's really taken his life in a positive direction, and we support that. So I don't anticipate any change. No, that's what he said, Roger Goodell. From what you've seen, do you see, understanding that you don't think he should be in this position, do you see him having made change in his life?
Not.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
He hasn't done anything from a philanthropic standpoint. He hasn't donated money to animal care, animal rights, nothing that you know of.
personally, I don't care if he donated $1 zillion. That $1 zillion he made was from blood money. He's not remorseful. The only thing he's remorseful about is being caught. He would have continued. This was fueled by greed. That's not going to change. He got caught. That's why he's sorry. He's not sorry for the damage he's done.
I'm with you. And I think the NFL is going to be sorry because the
disgusting.
backlash from the flag, you had bars and restaurants like my town, Joyce's Tavern, they stopped playing the NFL because of the flag thing. But now every person who cares about animals and animal rights is going to say, you know what, screw it. I'm not supporting the NFL anymore. And me personally, I think, like you said, I come from a football family. Kids look up to these people and they make them legends and icons. And the NFL is this is the best you got. Where's Phil Simms? You know what I'm saying? Where's Lawrence Taylor's been through some travails and he fixes himself, but that's a drug problem. Where's Lawrence Taylor? He's probably the best football player of all time. You know what I'm saying? They had to go to Michael Vick. That's the bottom of the barrel to me.
I'm sure that some of the Walter Payton humanitarian recipients could have filled in as a legend. I really would like to know, Budweiser, Subaru, big advertisers, are they going to give millions to their ads?
That's a good point, Frankie.
Yeah, that's a good question.
This sounds like a denunciations for your Sunday radio show.
Well, see, I'm very conflicted because on the one hand, I think what Michael Vick did is horrible. I didn't like him when he was a player. I didn't root for him after was it the Eagles signed him after this whole thing. But on the other hand, at what point should he be a pariah for the rest of his life? I don't know. I mean, he did go to prison, and he did pay his debt to society. And, that's why I asked the question I asked you earlier about what he's done to demonstrate the so-called positive attitude that Roger Goodell referenced. Because I don't think that any crime should be, once you're out of prison, should prohibit you from being an active participant in life. So I'm very...
Okay, so should a rapist that gets let out because he was a great surgeon prior, should he get accolades after that?
Well, so... I don't think you should be in a position to be let out of prison if you're a rapist, right? That's the,
We all know that animal torture, animal abuse leads to domestic violence.
Oh, I agree. I'm not defending animal abuse at all.
So, with that being said, the statistics are there, and as far as him being a legend, a captain, mentor, I want him to mentor my son.
I think that's a fair point. I mean, what Carl is saying is, America overall is a redemptive society.
Mm-hmm.
We like to see the comeback kid. We like to see the underdog who got knocked down with the drugs or the alcohol or something, and they go to rehab and they clean up, and boom, they're great again. The NFL, to me, is pointing to their constituency and saying, if you care about animals, we don't care. We want to make a political statement that we're going to roll this guy out there because he's our example of redemption. Look how great he is. And I think they could have made better choices.
I agree.
Have you seen in person, I know you see all these pictures, but have you ever seen any dogs come into the bully crew or that you rescued that were in dog fights?
Countless.
You have?
Countless.
Seriously, just tell people, how gruesome is it? Because maybe people don't understand what this is. This is dogs ripping each other's faces off.
Let's put that on the side. Prior to, it's the humans torturing them to get them prepared for fights. It's throwing acid on their faces and burning their faces. It is breaking their teeth for being bait dogs. These dogs are put in the ring prior to be attacked to get the fighters fired up. It is a horrific situation, and the NFL should be ashamed of themselves.
We're gonna keep pounding this story because I think it's worth it, and the NFL should take note of animal lovers because it's a huge constituency in this country. And I'm going to cut it off right here because I don't want to make my friend Carla cry, and she just saved it twice. And I owe her a jelly ring. So we're going to take a quick break. You stay right there. Jonathan Bell coming back talking about Harvey Weinstein. Manny Alejandro is going to mix it up, and Chris Carter is going to be with us a little later in hour one. We'll take a quick break. Back at you right after this.